Total concentration breathing. In the world of Kimetsu no Yaiba, many fighting techniques used to destroy demons were introduced. Among them is total concentration breathing, which is an essential combat technique. It's by using those special breathing techniques that the members of the Demon Slayer Corps are able to destroy the evil demons. With that in mind, in this video, we will introduce the 5 most powerful techniques of the Demon Slayer Corps. We'll look at the background of the user and also how it's introduced into the story. So, please be sure to watch until the end. Constant resounding slashes. The sound pillar, Tengen Uzui, used sound breathing's fourth form, constant resounding slashes against Gyutaro in the Entertainment District arc. This technique is a great fit for the flashy Tengen. It's characterized by intense action and launches numerous slashes while swinging 2 thick, long swords held in both hands at high speed, like nunchucks. Furthermore, each attack unleashes a fairly powerful explosion. Its attack range is extremely wide, and of course, it is flashy. In the manga, Tengen, who confronted Gyutaro, also used this as a countermeasure when he performed a wide range of blood demon arts and slashed forcefully. When Gyutaro made an unforeseen move, Tengen jumped in the middle of the rotating circular slashes and pushed Tanjiro out of the way. He was able to fight back by quickly using his technique. The technique is represented in the anime with a flashy effect. Constant resounding slashes was able to protect Tengen from Gyutaro's strongest attack, rotating circular slashes. So we know it is powerful, but it causes a lot of explosions, so it's quite a clamorous technique. The weakness of the technique is the fact that the user can lose sight of the enemy. In fact, Tengen actually lost sight of Gyutaro, which led to Hinatsuru being put into danger. Constant resounding slashes is a powerful technique. However, it could be said that it is a technique that makes it difficult to perform the next attack. Rengoku. Rengoku was the name of the technique that was used by the Flame Pillar, Kyojuro Rengoku, when he fought Akaza during the Infinity Train. Specifically, Rengoku is a secret 9th form of flame breathing. It can even be said that since the technique is named after his family, it is the strongest of the flame breathing techniques. This is a technique that is used to cut a wide area in an instant and can be pulled off only after training. Kyojuro used it in order to cut the neck of the upper rank 3, Akaza, which was stronger than steel. In the end, using that strong technique was the last thing that Kyojuro did. Kyojuro, who can perform techniques instantly from any position at any time, firmly steps on his feet, braces himself, lowers his hips, and twists his body. The Rengoku technique is performed with a natural stance like that. Even using the secret technique of flame breathing, Kyojuro was not able to cut off Akaza's head, but he was able to deeply gash his shoulder and dice his left arm. So we can see that it is an extremely powerful technique. Immediately before the technique was performed, Akaza also felt a high degree of perfection, as well as the excitement and joy that trembled in Kyojuro's fighting spirit. Akaza was asking Kyojuro to become a demon throughout the entire battle. So it could be that he was not fighting as hard as he could. But it's still true that even though Kyojuro was not able to get his Demon Slayer mark or his bright red blade, he was able to take on upper rank number 3 by himself and severely damage him. The technique is so powerful that it makes me wonder what would have happened if Kyojuro had lived until the final battle. Constant flux. The hero of the story, Tanjiro Kamado, uses water breathing. The 10th technique of water breathing is called constant flux. In the story, Giyu Tomioka, who also uses water breathing, used that technique. There are many forms of water breathing that allow for a series of attacks, but constant flux is a technique where it's possible to make a series of attacks that get stronger with each revolution of the attacker. On top of that, by revolving with each attack, it's possible to make the attack even more powerful. When the form takes effect, it produces an effect where it looks like a water dragon is swallowing the enemy. It's an extremely cool technique. Since the technique is used by a human, there's an upper limit to physical strength, so the attack power can be limited. But this technique is great to use against demons because they regenerate quickly after being cut. Also, in the story, constant flux is the only technique that is connected with the Hinokami Kagura dance. And when that connection is made, the water dragon becomes surrounded by fire, which is another cool effect. The Hinokami Kagura dance is connected with the first breathing technique, which is known to be the strongest one, sun breathing. It's not hard to see that constant flux is extremely powerful when it is combined with sun breathing. The first time constant flux appeared, it was used by Tanjiro in the fight against Rui on Natagumo Mountain. Constant flux was able to cut Rui's hard strings, even though water surface slash could not damage them. It is the strongest attack technique of water breathing, and it has been used in many battles. For example, it was used in the battle with Muzan to push back Akaza. It is powerful, but it takes time and space for the user to rotate, so its use can be limited at times. Constant flux can be seen in the story many times, but it's not something that is used in every battle because it's supposed to be used in an emergency. Dust Whirlwind Cutter. Just the name of the technique, Dust Whirlwind Cutter, sounds rough and powerful. It's the name of the first form of wind breathing, which the wind pillar, Sanemi Shinazukawa, uses. This is performed by holding the sword in two hands and spinning it in a spiral. It's a technique that attacks forward in a straight line, and just as the cutter part in its name would imply, it cuts away the floor or the pillars of the room while it heads for its target. It's a technique that shows the intensity and roughness of wind breathing. It was even used against upper rank number 1, Kokushibo, during the battle at the Dimensional Infinity Fortress. Kokushibo, who was so calm and composed up until that part of the battle that he did not even have to bring out his sword. The first time he showed his sword is when he took it out to stop this technique. During pillar training, Gyu Tomioka was on the receiving end of Dust Whirlwind Cutter and even had a hard time dealing with its destructive power. We can see that Dust Whirlwind Cutter is really a powerful technique because not only could Gyu not handle it, but the strongest demon besides Muzan, upper rank number 1, Kokushibo, had to take care when defending against it. Also, the user of Dust Whirlwind Cutter, Sanemi, always has bloodshot eyes, and his use of the technique is especially powerful. In the second Kimetsu no Yaiba fanbook, the demons were interviewed about how it felt to be hit by the technique. Not only do they say it's extremely painful, but they also say that they can feel that Sanemi hates them and he has no compassion. They seem to be disgusted by Sanemi. The Dust Whirlwind Cutter that Sanemi uses is among the top class in terms of power, strength and fear it causes, even among the already powerful wind-breathing techniques. By the way, Sanemi has an image of being scary because he hates demons. But he's actually a kind person who always thinks about his younger brother and family. When his little brother, Genya, died, he said Sanemi was a kind person, but we could also see that he was kind by the way he looked at Nezuko when all the fighting was over. SERPENTINITE BIPOLAR. SERPENTINITE BIPOLAR is the first form of stone breathing, which is used by the stone pillar, Gyomei Himejima. Gyomei uses his Nichirin sword, which is an axe and a spiked iron ball connected by a chain. By spinning both ends and throwing them at his opponent at the same time, either weapon by itself would easily wound or kill an enemy. But when Gyomei, who is both tall and powerful, throws both of them, it's like hell for the demons. In the fanbook interviews, more than the pain the weapons cause, the demons comment that they look scary. We can see that both Gyomei and his weapons make the demons feel intimidated. Stone breathing has many powerful destructive techniques, but the user has to finally control the weapons and chains, as well as having a natural combat sense. In order to attack opponents with two weapons that are different sizes and shapes, those weapons have to become part of the user's body. Also, Gyomei is blind, so we can see that he has a highly refined sense of the battlefield. It seems that Tanjiro did not even notice that Gyomei is blind because Gyomei moves quickly and powerfully, to the point that even people in close contact with him cannot notice that fact. Also, because the chain is long, attacks with the axe and spiked ball can be thought of as medium-range attacks. Another advantage of the weapon is the fact that if the enemy is kept away by the length of the chain, it can give the attacker more time to perform the next attack. The attack of the hatchet and the spiked ball, which is from the strongest of the pillars, Gyomei, can be said to be the most powerful attack in all of the breathing techniques in terms of both strength and destructive power of a single blow. That's all we have to say about the 5 most powerful techniques. In the Kimetsu no Yaiba universe, there are many other types of strong, lithe, and tricky techniques. The most powerful technique does not have to be the one with the most destructive power. If you have a favorite technique that you think is powerful, please let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching to the end of the video. We will be uploading more surprising videos on Kimetsu no Yaiba soon, so please be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss a thing. See you next time!